backup recording, which probably sound amazing now. The backup recording. My new phone looks quite a bit better than my old crappy piece of crappy crap.
What a piece of crap.
But what's not crap?
Good. You could have done it.
I still could. We still could. Maybe we're in the intro. Are we in the intro?
Maybe. I don't know.
We could be. Welcome to the intro.
That's what we should call the podcast. It should be called the intro.
What? Why? It's the middle of the week.
but because we just spend too much time in the intro, so it might as well be what people come for.
So the whole podcast is the intro?
Basically. And then at the end, we should go, all right, let's talk about the podcast, and then the theme cuts in.
I like that. That's cool.
Done.
Done.
It won't be this one. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. But for this one, Will's got pretty much all the news.
I do. News busting at the seams. But let's just tease what's going to bust later. Probably my trousers. We're going to be talking about our dream comic book video games, and this suggestion comes in from Lucas Coombe over on our Discord, who
Very good.
gives us everything, really. He's suggested everything.
He's pretty much running this entire channel.
Absolutely.
This thing, ETTO itself, is basically run by Lucas Coombe's suggestions.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
If you want to run ETTO, all you have to do is submit $2 to us. I believe that's how you say it. Over on our Patreon, patreon.com/each to their own. You can jump into our super secret Discord. There's more than 15 people because I think people stopped donating, but they're still in there. So I've got to kick those mothers out.
Ooh. There you go. Sneaky.
Sneaky buggers. But let's dive into the news. And first up, I'm going to scroll up to where I put the news. And first up is a new Bungie game, might be coming. It's just a trademarked word for a new project, which is Matter.
Matter.
Interesting.
So Bungie are obviously famous for the Halo games, or starting off the Halo games. What have they done since?
Destiny.
And Destiny,
Yeah.
of course. Yes.
Yeah. They've been playing with those Destinies. But the only picture we have is the word matter on top of like paint splatters, which I guess rhymes. So I'm hypothesizing that it's like a paintball game. That's my thing.
So, like the Nintendo game, right?
It's
totally
Splatoon.
blanking. Splatoon. Thank you.
I'm assuming they're going to try and make Splatoon for adults, even though Splatoon is predominantly played by adults. There's an esports league.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the market is. We're hypothesizing that it's even about paint. It could be about that could be the blood of a weird alien enemy that you play against in the game.
Yeah, maybe it's like a spray paint sort of thing instead.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like some sort of, I don't know. What were those games? Oh crap! I'm gonna forget everything. Jet Set Radio
apparently.
Future.
Yeah,
Jet
right.
Set Radio Future. That had a lot of graffiti and stuff, and those games were sick. I was obsessed with that game. It was like a free game that came with my original Xbox. And I played the crap out of it. It was so good. So maybe it's something like that, like a bit of a futuristic-y paintball-y thing.
That could be
just
cool.
like spray painty thing. I don't know.
It's a very weird thing. It's a very weird thing to pop up.
Yeah.
But I guess it makes sense because they're not doing anything at the moment. They just released the new Destiny expansion where they kill off either Nathan Fillion or Nolan North, depending on who you're listening to. So I guess they're done with that game for a little while. So might as well get someone else going. Get someone else going while you wait.
Why not?
Why not?
And what's up next? That's probably enough of that.
That's enough
we
about
know,
that. About
we
a
we know
game.
nothing.
A game we know nothing about. Something we do know about is a new version of the Oculus, and it's called the Oculus Quest. There's a trailer for it, which is really cool, which you haven't watched, but I'll send it to you, which kind of just had people playing the different iterations of technology. We've never seen this before for something innovative that just show you everything that's come before it. But
amazing.
The biggest thing about this is that it's wireless. So it's a wireless Oculus unit, which is very, very exciting.
Yes, this will be the one I'm jumping on for sure.
Oh, yeah. It was showcased at some sort of panel where Mark Zuckerberg, who has a big hand in the Oculus stuff, so he was talking all about this. I don't trust anything he says, but this man, maybe I should. because I think he's ahead of us in some form, because there was a video a long time ago where he taped up all the holes on his laptop, but it wasn't a thing about the video. His laptop was in the background, and you could just see that every hole on the laptop had tape over it. It's very strange.
That's weird. What the heck?
Yeah, very weird. But he talked about it, the fact that it's wireless, and it's also going to be backwards and frontwards compatible, in the fact that any game that goes to this will be able to be played on the Rift, which is good. Like,
sweet.
Yeah, it's like, don't make it difficult. Like, just because you've gotten rid of the wires, surely, maybe it's like the PS Pro next to the PS4, but you can still play games between that. Don't make it complex. Don't make people buy two.
Awesome. That's a great idea. But yes, for me, this is sort of what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Is something wireless. I have so many wires in my room with guitars and microphones and consoles and stuff, and I live in my room because my roommate owns everything else outside the room.
He owns you.
He pretty much does, right? But yes, this is what I've been waiting for, wireless VR. And recently, there's been a couple of games that have kind of come out or been announced lately that are exclusive to the Oculus. I was totally a Vive guy. I'm getting a Vive. That's going to be the thing. It just seems amazing. But there's so many things that I want right now, like the new Marvel game is only on Oculus. What?
Topical.
Is it?
The Marvel game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There you go. But yes, it's only on the Oculus, and so I'm like, all right, I guess I'm switching.
I'm doing this.
But yeah, now they're bringing out wireless. Hell yeah, I'm on the Oculus bandwagon.
Oh yeah. It's a bandwagon that we thought had already sailed away, which I don't know how. I mean, it's a bandwagon that fell into the river apparently. Is the idea of cross-play for PlayStation in any form, because they've been pretty arsey about it for a very long time.
Yeah, everyone, they've sort of been the butt of all jokes of like, everyone's ready and everyone's playing with each other except Sony. Yeah,
they're just over in the corner. Well, it turns out the reason that they weren't doing it is that their corner was entirely empty of people that could look after this game, this idea of crossplay. So they've now, apparently, Sony have summoned the funds from, I don't know, like their back pocket to afford a bunch of people to look after the crossplay of Fortnite, just Fortnite for now, being able to play from the PlayStation 4 to your Xbox, to your Switch, to your phone, to the computer. It's all happening now. PlayStation is well in for the Fortnite bandwagon that's in the river, sailing away.
This is awesome. This is like, excuse the pun, but also don't excuse it because it's totally intended and also not intended. This is game changing. This is amazing that now every way that you can play a game can be played with any other way that anyone else is playing games.
Absolutely.
This is sick. This is like, I know you told me this, but as I've been thinking about it, as you've been just saying that stuff,
it's huge.
I just realized how massive this is and how much work this is probably going to cause me and my company at
considering
Bigger.
Everything is online
crazy.
That you create.
Yes. Holy crap, this sucks.
Never mind. Yeah, no, it's like, it's something we've always thought about. Like, why is there multiple consoles? Why not just make one? It's kind of moving towards that, but it also is just, it just makes sense. It's like, you've got your exclusives to your different consoles. You're making your money anyway. Why not just break down the walls just a little bit? Just let people peep over them into each other's consoles. It's great.
Especially for these online games that are, like, they're not exclusive. Obviously, that makes sense. Like, all your CODs and stuff can now be played with each other. Yeah, sorry, keep burping. With each other.
Fine. What have you eaten? I don't believe you've eaten anything, but what have you eaten?
No, I haven't. I haven't eaten anything.
There you go.
Not since, I don't know, I had like a
lunch.
Bunch of shapes at work.
That was lunch?
Probably. Look, close enough.
Close enough.
But yeah, this is amazing and game-changing and insane.
So cool.
And I think the world of gaming is about to change.
Oh, yeah. Before we dive into a little bit of a trailer watch, just a quick downer on the idea that we just expressed is that Fallout, what's it called? Fallout 76 will not have crossplay in any form, at least for now. They're not thinking about it in any way. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Them.
did that come from Bethesda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's this weird world we live in where a lot of news comes from tweets from devs that I guess must be executives of their department, so they feel official enough to say these things. So it's come from a source that is direct, but it's also not come from like Mr. Leather Jacket Man. So we don't really officially know, but you know, there's a lot going on with that game that they don't really need to think about crossplay just yet.
Yeah. I think they need to just worry about the fact that people don't want it to be online.
Yeah.
They need to make it the best game that they can possibly make.
Yeah.
And
then think
to get
about
people
anything
on board.
else.
Yeah.
And something that needs to be the best thing it ever will be, otherwise it will die forever, is Dark Phoenix, which is
it's gonna
be terrible.
It's gonna die forever.
It's gonna die forever. It's quite possibly the final X-Men film from Fox solo. I mean, the other one might be coming out. What's the other one? New Mutants.
New Mutants. Yeah, the horror one.
That might happen. We had a trailer for that before this one, but it might come out after this one. It's all very confusing.
Yeah, I feel like they're still going to release New Mutants since they're still releasing this.
I guess they might.
Yeah, like it's been so on and off, like whether any of this is going to be released at all. But yeah, it seems I reckon they'll still release New Mutants. They've made it. They might as well.
That's so true. Yeah. I mean, I think the funniest thing about this trailer. I mean, do we even need to talk about what's in it? Because I don't think I got anything out of it apart from it was bad.
It looks like one of the movies they've already made.
It does. It looks like
It just
Apocalypse.
looks like they've done it again.
Didn't she turn into the Phoenix at the end of Apocalypse to save everything? Wasn't
Doesn't
that a thing?
she turn into the Phoenix at the end of like every X-Men movie?
Pretty sure.
Like, what the hell, guys?
Damn it.
Find a different thing. Come on. Phoenix is not the only thing in X-Men.
It's friggin' not. There's so much to do. That's very weird. But I think the funniest thing is the trailer ends with like January, and then it turns out it's actually coming out in June, which they told us like a day after. It was like, surely the person that finished and exported the trailer and sent it to everyone could have known this fact. Like, surely they told him or her.
Like, people would have like signed off on that and been like, "Yep, done.
That's done."
Don't worry about changing those 3 letters.
No. Should we change it to release it? No, just put an annotation. You know annotations don't exist on YouTube anymore. Well, shit. Yeah.
We'll just tweet about it. It's fine. It's fine, guys.
It'll come from some dude that's an executive of something else within the company, and people will think it's real. Just quickly as well, earlier last week we got our first photo of Frick, Taron Egerton. That the Frick was what was his name, not what a man. Taron as Elton John in the upcoming docudrama of Rocket Man. And
Rocket Man.
Thank you, Joshua. And now we have our first trailer of it, and it looks as good as Bohemian Rhapsody, which is very, very good.
Hell yeah! It's interesting that these, like all these sort of docu movies, are coming out. Like all these things are just happening for some reason.
Like, at the same time? And it always feels like it happens. It always feels... You know that there's a television series, or it's a streaming series, about the moon landing that has come out this month, the same month that First Man comes out. How does this...
Interesting.
How does the industry... You know, also, Ian McKellen starred in Lord of the Rings, the first one, and the first X-Men in the same year. It's like, how does this happen? How do these things always collide?
It's pretty crazy. Is what company is making Rocket Man and the other one?
I shall have a look at that.
Totally
while you
blanking.
intro what we're going to talk about.
My mind does not work at all ever.
Bohemian Rhapsody. I already
nowadays.
said that word.
That's the one. I know you said it, but I just lost it already.
Yeah.
Yes. So after Will finds this thing and informs us all of whether this is the same company or different companies, it's probably different companies. We're going to be talking about, as we have already said, what comic book characters we think deserve games, or even comic book groups. So let us know, while I'm still waiting and sort of killing time, let us know what you reckon down in the comments below. But we're going to be discussing that.
I want to stretch out the words a little bit longer. I just wanted to see how long. Bohemian Rhapsody is 20th Century Fox. Rocket Man. Oh god.
Yep.
Here we go.
Good.
Good.
Yep.
Bohemian Rhapsody
Fox.
is yep, and Rocket Man is Rocket Pictures. So there you go. I'm now going to click on that link and see if that is yep, it's Elton John's company, which feels a little gross that you're making a movie about yourself.
That is odd. That is very odd. And also, it feels weird that they're making a movie about him when he's still alive.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody, like it's sort of about
They're
Queen,
dumb.
but it's totally, absolutely going to be about
Freddie.
Freddie Mercury.
Totally. And also, look, I mean, Elton John's got almost the same controversial second act that Bohemian Rhapsody will have, which is him coming out. So I'm like,
yes,
I don't know if I need to see that twice about the same subject in the space of less than a year. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's not talk about Rockman. Yeah.
It looks like a good movie, though.
Yeah, it does. So I had a little cough there.
I noticed.
Did you? Oh.
Yeah.
Let's talk about games. Let's talk about games that might be actual other stuff. Oh, I've written the words... I just looked at my notes. I've written the words just adapt, which I don't know. I think I was writing something else, but that's fine.
Right.
Why don't you kick us off with your first one, boy?
My first one was Wonder Woman.
Ooh.
How good would that be?
I don't know yet. You haven't sold it to me.
I haven't thought about it. I'm like, look, the Arkham games, they're sort of your straight up go to like superhero things. I would assume just sort of that, but it could be set in almost any time period. But you could have like gods and stuff. Like it'd almost be like Arkham, but God of War or something.
Yeah, cool,
like you could have it freaking crazy. She's got like her lasso. She's got her shield and like reflecting.
And stuff.
Reflecting wristbands and her swords and stuff. Like she's got all that stuff.
Yeah.
That could be a game for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be sick.
Like, we're kicking off with that one. I'll go to my next one in a second, but I think the key thing is we're going to be talking DC and Marvel, kind of the only ones we'll dabble with, really. I know there's a whole plethora of heroes that we won't talk about from the one beginning with V and like Titan, and there's so many different, but we're talking about the main core heroes from the two industries. And if you're going to do one game and another game about that character, and the next one I'm going to talk about is The Flash, like, keep them all together. Like, if you're going to do Wonder Woman, The Flash, make it in the same world as Arkham, and, like, all the Marvel heroes, they all have to be part of the same universe. Otherwise, what is the point?
Yes, yeah. And I think, like we've said before, there's sort of rumors and stuff about Spider-Man kicking off the game universe, the Marvel game universe.
Well, past rumors. Like, I mean... At least, what are their names? The idiots, the Insomniac guys, at least, are very certain, but no one else has said anything, so who knows?
Yeah. That would be amazing and sick, and I am so in for that. But, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens in time.
We will.
But, yeah, as you said, definitely let's combine all the things. But you said The Flash. I also had The Flash. That would be...
Okay, cool.
So cool.
It'd be good. I went with, like, you could have, in Detroit... when you can see multiple different ways you could go through a path. Like, you'd have that kind of a thing going on, where, like, time would slow down, you'd be able to watch yourself do a thing, and if it fails, you go, alright, not that way, I'm gonna go this way. I think that would be cool. Like, you, basically, of all the other heroes you could do, this is the one that could just, Insomniac could do it, and just do Spider-Man, put him in Central City, you have, like, a little app that buzzes when there's, like, a meta-human attack, and you, like, divert course and go over there. Like, you have an open world of Central City to play with, and, like, because Insomniac did how smooth Spidey was. Like, just, The Flash is smooth. Let him do that shit.
Yeah, it can, like, run up buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
he is
that would be so cool. And obviously everything would be, like, super fast-paced.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be so crazy. That would be very cool. And you've got so many good villains as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you've got all the different speedsters, you've got Gorilla Grodd. So many good things.
But you've also got, like, tiers of villains, because you could stop Captain Boomerang in, like, a bank robbery, whilst Gorilla Grodd is, like, removing a building or something. Like, there's different tiers, and because there's metahumans as well, like, There's insane visuals that could happen. Whilst, as I said, Captain Boomerang could be stealing from a bank or like a shop. Like there's a good level of play in there.
And that's very, I guess, reminiscent of the Spider-Man game, because you do have different levels, and obviously all your different villains have different sort of visuals that they go with. Yeah, nice. I'm down for that. Sort of along the same lines as Flash, I had Arrow.
Yeah, cool.
Would be, I guess, probably like another Arkham thing, but you'd have like a bit more like obviously your archery in there, so you can have sort of distance combat and more stealth and stuff like that.
Yep. Would it be open world? Like you just have Star City to play with?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe you'd go towards the games and you could go like multiple different places. So you'd be like on the island.
Yeah.
Like maybe the island's the first part, and then he breaks into, like, you sort of have your training and stuff like that.
Like play out the Arrow story. Like this one's a lot more like so you start on a very small open world. I'm using quotation marks. That then you get to the city eventually. Yeah, cool.
That would be cool.
Very Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Yeah, that's about all I've got for that. But that would be sort of on a similar level to your Flash. I think they could totally be in the same universe as well.
Yeah, and that could be very close to the Arkham way of things, where you also could have a mission where you play as Speedy or like Black Canary or something. Like there's a lot of easy multiple character things that Arkham did every now and then. So it's like that's a good character to have as a main game.
Yeah, totally.
Nice. Yeah, I've got a few other DCs, but I've got one other one. But let's hit up your Marvels. And one that I just want to get the tiny ones out because there's some meaty ones here. A Wakandan city builder. So it's like city skylines, but you build like Wakandan stuff. You could even this is just coming off the cuff. You could even start with the birth of the city, and it's kind of like you go through the much more tribal parts of it.
Like eras, cool.
And like as you go, you also then have the neighboring tribes, maybe stuff split off, and you have to try and hold them together. But like the game forces certain tribes to split off, and then as you go through the history, there's political struggles. So it's a bit of Civ and a bit of a city builder. Like it's a bit of I think that'd be quite cool.
Interesting. Yeah, you went in a different direction to this, because I've just been sort of thinking about your Spideys and your Arkhams. Cool.
Yeah, I think that would be quite fun.
No, I dig that.
Imagine having that on your mobile.
Yes. Yeah, that's cool. Cool idea. Wow. Yeah, I like it.
Let's make that game, Josh.
Okay, I'm in.
Let's do that.
Done. Solved.
Do that. What's up on your what? Hang on. Let me just get rid of the flash.
You okay?
Yeah. I was going to make the same joke I cut out of another podcast. I'm not going to do that. What's up next on your list?
Let's just keep going with that. I had Black Panther.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think a Black Panther
absolutely.
Black Panther game would just be sick. Like you've got all these different sort of countries. You can go throughout Africa. Seems like he also sort of like in the movie hits up Asia, so you could have some stuff happening. Kind of anywhere. He's got some sick powers. You could go into like the spiritual realm, do stuff in there.
Oh wow, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and like maybe you can play as like different, like the heads of the other tribes that have different sort of powers. So maybe you could like be like a gorilla, whatever black gorilla, probably not that.
It's probably not that.
But that guy, you could sort of change it up, change characters, stuff like that. That would be very cool. Or even like you had maybe like the city builder sort of thing.
Yeah. That's part of the game.
You could have that, or like an Age of Empires sort of thing, where you build it up, but you also build up your Wakandan army to take on threats and other armies that are coming after you, trying to get your vibranium.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Your resource stuff.
That's cool. There's so much, like, there's so many different environments you could embrace in that game, because he goes everywhere. You could have a little hub world where like a little hub lab where you go see Shuri and she like does it. Even though that's not Shuri from the comics at all, but I think that's what they're. There's a new comic series called Shuri, which basically recrafts her to be the MCU Shuri, which is quite interesting.
Interesting. Because if people who don't read comics don't know, Shuri is she's actually a Black Panther. She's the queen of Wakanda, and she's a Black Panther in her own right, as well as T'Challa.
And she's quite a lot older. Like, she is almost T'Challa's age. There's a bit of a sibling thing, but it's like she is a lot older. So it's. I mean, I don't think I saw any controversy about her being younger, but it's just interesting that the comics have now embraced that and been like, okay, I quite like that.
Yeah.
So this game would also do that. In my image, you'd have her as the Q of the game, basically.
Yeah, nice. Cool. I dig that.
Good. Because if you didn't, I'd remove you from the call, apparently. Up next is... I mean, I've written this in a weird... I don't think the other game that I've linked here, but a two-player or a co-op kind of experience where you could play as two different characters, a Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange game that's kind of like what we've seen of Control, but also kind of Tomb Raider in its puzzles, and like, you know, you'd have a bit of, and a bit of Quantum Break, which is kind of like Control as well, with the time and space bending stuff.
Nice.
And it'd be a lot more linear. It wouldn't be an open world. It'd be, you know, going through the different realms and stuff. But I think that'd be quite cool. And it gives you the option, maybe it's an option, no, because they wouldn't be in the same environment. I think, like, I guess it's like Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You'd have those two characters playable whenever. Scarlet Witch or
cool.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I think that'd be exciting.
That would be very cool. I dig that. Yeah, sick. I had, look, it's probably like similar to your Arrow, but I had Hawkeye.
Please.
As well, because that would just be freaking fun and hilarious.
Yes.
He's just such a good character. He's so ridiculous. You have so many different arrows that you can play with. There'd be upgrades and things that you could craft out of like resources that you collect as you go. Yeah.
I like
just that would be excuse me,
so
that would be very fun. You could almost do it it could be like an Uncharted, maybe, just like a linear storyline sort of thing.
Yeah, because I think we should mix this up so we have a few different games. I think Hawkeye would be great. I also think that he would be great as a world bridging one. Like, Hawkeye's great on his own, but I think that would be the game where you could have any character cross in at any time. Obviously, Black Widow should show up at some point.
Yes.
And
maybe this game is Budapest.
It is the Budapest game.
Maybe it's Budapest. Yes.
I like even more. Good. All right. Let's change that title to Budapest. Good choice. What else have I got? I've got I'll leave that one. I've got a Young Justice game, which you don't know too much about the series, but
I don't. I want to.
It's great. It's great. It's like it's a Young Justice League. And for this one, I was kind of thinking it wouldn't be made by Rockstar, but it'd be the GTA 5 like thing where you have all the different characters available. And because Young Justice takes full advantage of how big the DC world is, there's space, there's all the different cities and stuff like that. So you'd have those environments, and it'd be less so switching between characters, more so switching between those characters in the different environments. And when you got there, it'd be like they might be in the middle of a battle, they might be just chilling out because they are normal people as well. And you would basically have like individual missions for them, like the GTA 5 is, but the culmination ones are boss fights for the whole team comes together. And it's like, if you level up certain characters and their things, it'll change how the boss fight plays out. Like, you might have additional things that could help the fight, or you might not. Like, it'd change the course of the boss fight. You'd probably still win. There'd probably still always be a way to win, but it could be easier or a little bit more interesting depending on what you've done with each character.
Yeah, or like you could just have straight up different cutscenes or whatever, depending on how you've progressed.
Yeah, I think that should be fun.
Yeah, nice.
And like you could have a hub world where no matter like if you're playing as a character, if you go back to the cave, they're all there just chilling out. Like you can talk to the other characters like you can in GTA. Like they are there. It's not like they just disappear without you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I like that one.
Cool, nice. Well, along with that, I had Nightwing.
Oh, yes.
That would just be very cool. F Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, just I don't know. It would probably be similar, like along the same lines as your Arkham's. I know I keep saying that, but it's Batman.
It is the video game
character.
Like
the
superhero video game.
Yeah. And he's just such a Batman character.
Yeah.
May as well just like jam that into the Arkham verse. And follow Nightwing, which would be so cool. He's such a cool character. I need to read more of Nightwing and find out more. But what I know of him, he's very, very good, and he's some people's favorite superhero of all time, which is crazy. So cool.
It's insane. Because I Superman fan Sam, you know as Sam G. If you do, if you don't, you don't. You do, if you do. One of his friends, who is also a cosplayer. Miss Danny Cosplays, I think is her Instagram, but almost every day, or at least once a week, she's like, look at this Nightwing statue I just bought. I'm like, how is there this many Nightwing statues? Her cat is named Nightwing. So yeah, people do like Nightwing, and I think they would like that game.
Big fans. Yeah, that would be so fun. I'm down for that.
Very good.
Do you have, was that your last DC one?
I have no more DC. Do you have more DC?
Cool. No.
Okay.
I am done.
We are done. I've got, how many more have I got? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although some of them are very short. How many have you got?
Okay.
left?
I have 2.
Okay.
One's like a crossover.
Oh, sexy. Oh, Jesus. What was
Sorry. I don't worry.
Good.
I didn't hit myself in the balls this time.
Oh,
okay,
good.
I just accidentally
Your balls hit you.
I accidentally hit my headphone microphone on the other microphone.
Gotcha.
My recording microphone, and it got caught and jammed, and I was very disoriented. I didn't know where I was. Yeah.
What a shame.
We good though. We good.
Something that might be good is an Ant-Man game, because, and I mean, you could have the Wasp in there as well, which will tie to something once I explain what it would be. I was thinking like a 2.5D puzzle platformer, basically like Unravel. So if you then take the mechanics of the new Unravel 2, you could have the Wasp in there as well. Where you could change sizes, interact with the environment. It's all nice. You know, it wouldn't be end of the world thing. Like, I think it would just be a nice one. Like, there'd be maybe some enemies that you'd fight, which would be similar to like that Doctor Who Eternity Clock game. Where you could fire as all, you know, one line sort of thing. But I think they would suit that kind of like Rayman puzzle platformer sort of thing. Where you can
sure.
drink stuff and I think that'd be fun.
I would wonder. I definitely agree. I would wonder on that though, whether it's like financially viable, because people are probably expecting Marvel to only release Spider-Man sized games. So for them to release a game that's basically an indie game, yeah.
Well, we want to be very versatile in the types of games as well, though. So that's why I went to that, because I was like, I want a game that would suit that. I think Ant-Man would definitely fit that sort of realm.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I would totally be on board for that.
Yeah.
It would be very odd for that to come in with like I keep saying, your Arkhams and your Spider-Mans. But yeah, cool. Okay.
Maybe it'd be mobile. Like, you know, you've got about 700 Marvel games on the mobile that are all travesties. So that's true. Nice one could fit on the mobile.
Why not? Let's do that. What else you got? You do one, and then I'll do one, and then you do one, and then you can finish off.
Sweet. My next one is one that I'm both shocked and not shocked hasn't happened, but basically Overwatch meets the Avengers, or not just the Avengers, but the Marvel Universe. So you've got all your powers, but they're evenly matched. There's multiple environments. Like, it's just waiting to happen, right? Because, like, even the VR game that's just come out is basically that, except you're fighting enemies. Just turn that into a player versus player thing, and you got your Overwatch Marvel. Like, it should be a thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. It's basically like your Injustices, but not just, like, side-scrolly.
Totally. And it would be, it'd be first person, so you've got all this stuff happening. And
Yeah, cool. It
Yeah.
would be like, you know that the unreleased Marvel game from
Yeah,
like
the
years
the
ago?
Avengers one they were gonna bring
Yeah.
back. Yeah,
That would be so cool. Yeah, so it would probably look like that. Like
Yeah.
you could see your shield, you could see Hulk's hands, all that sort of thing. But yeah, you're battling each other for something.
yeah. I mean,
Infinity
Overwatch is
Gauntlet. I
yeah.
don't know.
Overwatch has been very unclear by how that works, but I mean, you could just do the Contest of Champions thing where it is the collector has put you in a thing and is like, you have to
Whoa,
fight.
yes.
Easy, done. Grandmaster, I mean. But that's what you have to do. Just make it, just call it Contest of Champions.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
totally.
what
It
the
would be the
game
Contest
is.
of Champions, like console game, full game.
Yeah, do
Hell
it.
yeah.
There it is. We solved that one.
Excellent. Very good. My next one was a Venom and Carnage game.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just because,
So like Unravel 2, where you can combine, and it's all side-scrolly and nice.
Totally. Well, like back in the day, you had your Hulk games and stuff like that, where like you're just sort of, no, you're just causing mayhem and things like that.
Mhm.
This would probably be something like that, where you could change between being Venom and being Tom
Cool.
Hardy.
Yeah.
And it's Tom Hardy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, good.
One of them.
Yes. So yeah, you change between those different states to sort of like blend in and hide your abilities. Like what was that game that I hated?
I
crap.
I think I know which one you're talking about. The one you hated every second of. And we're like,
Yeah,
but I
pretty
need
much.
to finish this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
crap.
do know the one you're
It
thinking
was it was the experiment one. You're like a weird experiment. You're basically Venom.
of. Yeah, I remember
Uh,
I remember this. You were still
yeah.
tutoring me, I think.
Yeah,
It was
probably.
really early on.
A game like that, but better.
Prototype?
Prototype. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. That piece of crap, but better. And yeah, either Venom or Carnage or both.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Yeah, just like an
Yeah,
anti-hero. Yeah, sick.
Good.
They just have sick powers. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're visually very interesting. Yep, done. That would be
Good.
cool.
Lock
Sick.
it in the can.
What you
My
got?
next one. This one is. I couldn't work out what type of game I would like it to be, but I've got Guardians of the Galaxy because that needs its own video game.
It does. Other than the Telltale.
That's what. Yeah, because I had written Telltale / Naughty Dog, so you could do what Telltale was doing, but the Naughty Dog flavor, where it's not in a shit engine. It looks good. Maybe.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that'd be fun. I mean, Naughty Dog, they kind of do it in The Last of Us, but they don't generally switch characters. I'm sure they could work it out. I'm sure there'd be a way of bringing a switch character formula into the Naughty Dog formula. But the alternative to this is a Guardians of the Galaxy game in the Bethesda open-worldy Mass Effect idea, where your hub world, your main land is nowhere, and then you zip out into different realms, different reaches of the galaxy to do shit. Just save the guard the galaxy.
Nice.
Because it needs to happen. That I would play no other game if it was a open world Guardians of the Galaxy. Probably more Mass Effect than Skyrim, though possibly very cyberpunk like CD Projekt Red. Something maybe in that vein. But
Yeah,
then I'm
cool.
like, would you make your own Guardian, or would you play one of them? Because then what makes it a Guardians game? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're doing stuff for them. Maybe you're part of the team or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because I guess Uncharted Lost Legacy, could you change between the characters?
No,
Or not
that was
willingly, but did they ever...
I
Did
didn't
you
think
ever
so, no.
control a different one? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I guess The Last of Us, you did. You
Yeah.
didn't like willingly do it, but
Yeah, but it was
there were
story-driven.
different, there were sort of story driven parts.
Mm-hmm.
And the Guardians often have their own thing going on
That's so true.
in different areas, so that you could probably pull it off by doing it as a story way of going about it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you just have
yeah.
maybe your starter's quill through the story, and then the thing that splits the team up is then when you start to be able to play with the different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, like
Nice.
it. What have you got?
Sick. My last one, I have no idea what this would be.
Ooh.
But an X-Men game.
Yes.
I'm wondering whether, because I enjoyed, from the little that I played at friends' places, I enjoyed the Harry Potter games.
Yeah.
They were pretty fun. And they're all set in Hogwarts, basically, with some parts where you go outside. So maybe this X-Men game could be like that. Like either you make your own X-Men, or you like choose one of the X-Men and you play as them as a kid. Like you could be like Kid Cyclops or something.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're in this school, but it keeps getting attacked and there's all these bad things happening at the school, much like the Harry Potter games. So you have to do that,
cool.
and there's just sort of this big boss building from that. Something like that. Or maybe even like a more like story-driven sort of thing, like your Detroit, where there's a lot of racism and stuff happening out in the city. And you have to deal with that as being an X-Man.
Totally. That sounds pretty cool. I think whatever it is, make the mansion feel big. Because in all the films, like Deadpool included, I'm always like, this just looks like a big house. Like, I'm like, how are you fitting every mutant ever in this little building? So just make me believe it's huge, please.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need.
For sure. Good.
What if it was just like you play as Professor X and you just wheel into the Cerebro and you just live out the lives of different mutants? They're just like individual little stories.
Whoa.
Of different mutants. That could be cool. Which could tie into the Detroit kind of vein as well.
Yeah.
It could be fun.
Cool. And over time, like you basically recruit them.
Yeah. You do things within their story. Like he does sometimes.
Yeah, cool. I like it. Good.
That's good.
All right. Let's make that.
Let's make that game. One game that I'm like, that I've always been like, fuck. I've written these words. This is my one F-bomb it'll be my second technically now, I guess, of the whole podcast. I've written, just fucking Lego game to realism. Just pick up your Lego Marvel Avengers and your Lego Marvel superheroes and just turn them real. Like, that you're done. Like, you've already got the idea right there in your face of how to do every hero in a game with a cohesive story, with different powers, different ways to use them. It's right there. Like, just do what Traveler's Tale have been doing for the past friggin' 15 years. Just do it. For God's sake.
I didn't realize that's what TT standard for. That's amazing.
Good.
But that idea is amazing as well. That's sick. I dig it.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that it's never in some form happened, because it's like you go into these missions that are very, more so in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, is you get centered and split off into really cool dynamic teams. Like, there's the Spider-Man team, which of course has Spider-Man, but then there's like White Tiger and someone else on the team. Like, they force different missions that take form with different players that you can switch between. Like, just, there's different powers. You've got the whole Marvel Universe. Feel free to use the same story that Traveler's Tale have done for their past 5 games, where some evil force has managed to split the universe and put it all back together in one world. Feel free to use that. Just get... Is it Kang? Is that Marvel's one? Marvel has Kang, right?
That's the thing, yep.
Just get him to do it. You're done.
Sure. Nice.
There's your game.
Cool.
That's the like, I left that to last, because that is the ultimate Marvel game. It's just
that's just all of them.
Or DC, like, it works for both.
I was just about to say that too. DC could totally do that. Any of these things could be a thing, for sure. Good. Done.
Yeah,
Thick.
Good. We've solved the problem. But I've got my copies. I've bought all the Iron Man games on PlayStation 3, and might play those at some point and just cry, because those games look horrendous.
There's Iron Man games? I remember one of them.
Yeah, there's Iron Man 2 is even worse than Iron Man 1, from what I've played.
Oh, no.
I really want to get the Thor and the Captain America game as well. They looked good. But they're probably terrible.
I've seen very good things about the Captain America game, and because some other podcasters who are also YouTubers played it, and they were like, "This is actually really good." And apparently, Chris Evans,
he does the voice.
Yeah, he did the voice, but apparently he also based a lot of his choreography on that game. So
Oh,
his
cool.
fighting choreography, I think, in Winter Soldier
Yeah.
was
The
based
bouncing
on
around.
was based on the fighting choreography in the animations for that game. So
Cool.
it's sort of an important game, but I
Yeah.
don't think
No one
anyone.
talks about it.
I didn't even know it existed until
Yeah,
I
right.
watched that video.
Did you
So,
know
hell
RDJ
yeah.
does the voice for the first Iron Man game? And I think the
Whoa,
second. Very weird.
far
Very
out.
odd.
Yeah, I remember seeing that game, and I'm like, that looks so bland. It
Yeah.
just looked so boring. And it looked like the same city as the Spider-Man games. It just looked
Yeah,
like
the bad city.
they just jammed Iron Man in.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to play that. Maybe that'll be a video at some point. But yeah, that's our ideas. We've just exuded all of our creative knowledge on what we could do as a video game. What game do you want to exist? Out of all of
Yes.
I mean, yeah, everyone at home comment as well. But what do you want out of all of the things we've come up with?
What do I want?
Yeah,
Look, okay. Besides the one where it's just everyone in one game.
yeah.
Let's just rule that one out because obviously that has to happen. Look, I'll go with Wonder Woman. I just think a cool Wonder Woman like beat 'em up game like that where you're beating up gods and stuff, like God of War, probably at the moment like game of the year, just internationally. It's got to be like that. It's just that would be sick. I'd probably say Wonder Woman.
Yeah, good. I would. I mean, the more I think about the Hawkeye game, I'm like, that would be. There is so much to give in that game, and like, depending on where you sit it, like whether it's an MCU thing or it's part of this video game universe, as long as Hawkeye's in a few of the other ones, you could. I don't want to say about Spider-Man, but you could have the ability to transition over to the next person by like the second game or the third game. Like it could be, one game that's Hawkeye, and then at the end, maybe he dies, or he just hangs up the bow, and it ends with him, with Kate Bishop taking up the bow, and then that's your next game, and then she takes it forward. As long as we've had Hawkeye in other games, like I think a Hawkeye-based game that ends with him hanging it up, like that's like a Last of Us level cool storytelling thing.
Yeah, that would be cool because it's something you don't expect.
Yeah.
For like the main character to go, I'm done. Someone else can do it now. When that happens, and it's like, whoa, what?
Okay. Like I
Yeah.
would be so in, especially for anything Hawkeye. I'm freaking in.
Yeah, it's like if Batman like hung up his cape at the end of the end of Arkham Knight, and then like a Robin came in and took over, and that
Just
was like the next Arkham game.
Just a bird. A bird flew into his cape and then took off with it. And
Tweet.
tweet, motherfucker. Oh god, that's how Donald Trump tweets. But yeah, let us know what you think of all of our dears. Just our dears.
Just ideas. Just our.
Fuck, it's the end.
I was gonna do like a Batman deer noise, but I don't know what noises deers make. Mother effer.
Good. It's definitely the end of our podcast. Let us know what ideas
Done.
you like the most from our ideas. And let us know what you think would make a good game. I think a few people did comment on my one of my other videos where I talked about, I think probably about Spider-Man or something. There's a few good ideas there, but let us know in the comments of our YouTube or over on SoundCloud, depending on where you're listening to it, some ideas for a video game of the comic book nature.
Heck yes. And we already know what's happening next week for this podcast, because Will and I are going to finish Tomb Raider and then discuss.
Yes.
Going to have some things to talk about.
Yes.
And it will also have been a month since we started our comic book club. Comic
will.
book club. That's the
Our
one.
comic book club.
We know the name of it. I know the name of
Yes,
it.
you should.
I definitely should. So yes, that will be. This is the last week to finish off that. I think it was. I think it was Lucas Coombe
It
again
definitely was.
saying that there is actually a 12-part Watchmen series. It's basically like someone reading through the comic, but it's a little bit animated. I think they're half-hour episodes. They're all on YouTube. I looked it up. It looked like Lucas had the actual DVD itself. But it's from DC as well. They made it. I had a bit of a listen through. It's one dude doing the voice of everyone.
I see.
So the women, he just speaks a little more airy.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was hoping that it would be like every
Like a
character
voice
had a
cast.
different voice and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's pretty much just one dude reading the whole thing out,
Oh god.
which is kind of funny. The animating's pretty cool in it, but yeah, it depends on if you can listen to one dude pretending to be a guy and a bunch of guys and a bunch of girls for I think 6 hours.
Yeah.
So there's 12 issues and they're half an hour each.
Or you can track down the comic, but as long as you read it before next week, we will. The podcast will be broken up if you just want to hear about one of the other and don't want to get spoilers from one of the other. But
Yes.
just make sure you read the book by next week and played all of Tomb Raider or not. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah. Have you started reading Watchmen
I've
yet?
not at all, but it's
No,
fine. My
I didn't
eyes
think you
move
have.
really quickly, so
You read damn quick.
I do.
It's a long one though.
it is.
It's
I felt
it
that
takes
book.
it takes me like maybe half hour 45 minutes per issue.
Yep.
I'm a very slow reader, and I keep getting distracted by other things like just in life. But yeah, it's taken me a while to get through. I'm 2.5 issues out, so I'll definitely be done
Good.
by the end of the week.
So if you want to
Yes.
join Lucas Coombe in listening to us talk about Watchmen next week, read the book. Or if you don't want to read the book and you just want to hear us talking about Watchmen, just don't, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't have to.
It's all good. We'll have a general overview of it. I also want to maybe jump into the movie a little bit. I want to try and watch that movie. It is on Netflix.
It is. It's a fine movie.
Yeah, have you seen it?
I did. I watched it quite recently, actually.
Ah, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine for Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's very
but-
much Zack Snyder.
Yes. But I want to see. I want to see how it compares to the comic.
And we
From
should
what
discuss
I've
that as well.
Yeah, from what I've like read, I know I'm talking about Watchmen already, but from what I've read of the comic and what I'm remembering of the movie, I'm like, wow, they actually did that really well.
Then what happened in Batman vs Superman?
I know. Come on, guys.
My goodness.
But anyway, we'll talk about it next week.
We will.
Where it's all finished and we know all the things.
We
Because
do.
I've forgotten all the things. I've only seen Watchmen once when it came out in like 2009 or 2008.
Yeah.
But
We'll get it in you
yes.
again. But
Heck
also
yes.
a reminder, if you haven't, hang on, 1 sec.
Hmm?
If you haven't already heard that we're going to be at PAX, which is very, very soon. PAX
Hooray!
Oz in Melbourne. We'll be there all 3 days at varying times. Just check out, our Twitter or our. Yeah, hang on. If you haven't already heard, we're going to be at PAX Melbourne. It's very close. Oh my gosh. And we'll be there at varying times. If you want to know where we are, jump on over to our Facebook, and we've got an event page there for our PAX stuff. We'll be letting you know where we are, what we're doing. If you want to come, say hello, give us a hug, whatever you do when you see a human being. We'll be there. We also have a panel in the Ibis Theatre at 9:30 on the Saturday. So if you've got a
Yes.
ticket to get in, you can get a ticket to get into us. Our panel.
9:30
panel.
p.m. by the way, not
Yes.
a.m.
No.
At night.
night.
So enjoy the whole thing. Get all of your badges and all of your exciting things. Go win some keyboards from someone probably,
It's just yelling.
and then come hang out and come watch us do some dumb things and get real messy.
Oh yeah, there's full details on what those dumb things are over on the Facebook event page if you want to know. But if you don't want to know, just remember 9:30 p.m. Ibis Theatre on the Saturday.
And we're actually also on the PAX website, which is crazy.
We are, and we'll be in the book as well.
That's so exciting. Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
It's very cool. So make sure
Man.
you don't miss it if you're in Melbourne. If you're not in Melbourne, come on down to Melbourne. There's some exciting stuff because there's indie games and there's also EB Game Expo combining. So there'll be all the games you could possibly ever need, apart from the
gonna be
Marvel
great.
games we just talked about.
It's going to be great. But other than that, you can catch us on YouTube a few times a week. I have not got anything this week, and Will said that he's got plenty this week. So
Okay.
I'm going to leave it to you. But I'll have something for next week. But our fearless leader, Will, as always,
Oh, I'm pretty fearful, mate.
leading with the goods. But yes, you can get us there. You can watch these podcasts on there as well, or just listen to them since there's no visual. And as we said, we have SoundCloud. We're on Instagram as well. I am _sheep _ sheep with 2 P's. And Will is the Doctor of Who?
It is me.
of course. Very good. We're also on Twitter. All the links for that are down below. As we said at the beginning of the podcast, you can jump over to Patreon and follow us there. Patreon.com/each to their own. Just $2 will get you into our Discord, which is great. Lucas, as always, is posting in there, and he's posted a bunch of Toon Sandwich videos of stuff. He's doing it like right now. Like,
how exciting.
8:02, like half an hour ago.
There it is.
So there's always people chatting about things. We have so many different chats going on about things. We've got one that's turned into a meme page. We've got stuff just about ideas, which is where
Lucas just spews.
Lucas just tells us everything we should do, and then we do it. We have a channel for pets where we're just getting pictures of dogs and cats and stuff, and it's just amazing and gorgeous. We've got self-promotion, so people are like showing us them, like Lucas again graduating. Man,
Yeah.
so cool.
Who'd have thought
and
it?
then
I don't know.
it's so good. And you've just got like people saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be streaming, and I like made this video, and I helped write this song."
It's
we have
good.
chats
We're
about
all
the
very
comics.
creative people.
It's so cool. I love it. It's so good. Everyone get in there. Come hang out. It'd be great. Harmonica.
Please hang out with us. We're very lonely. Well, I'm not. Josh is by himself in another state.
I'm so alone.
So-
Hang out with me.
Go hang out with him. But until the next one, let's talk about what you would have been able to watch this week. I've done a vlog, and I've done the upload at this point in time. There's some
Cool.
more stuff coming up, but if you want that in your eyes, it's all here on this channel on YouTube, or if it's not here on SoundCloud, jump on over to YouTube.
Very good. Very good. Oh, that's right, because you did the vlog on Sydney Comic Con. Sydney
I
Oz
did.
Comic Con.
Oz
That's the
Comic
one.
Con. It was very
Sick.
shit. But
Oh,
I made
that's
a very
disappointing.
fun vlog, so I hope you enjoy that, Josh.
I
and anyone else that wants to
hope
watch
I do as well.
Ah, good. But until the next one, which could be about literally anything apart from the fact that we've already said what it is, the Doctor of Who is out.
And sheep is how.
I'm going to leave it on that unsatisfying note.
Oh no!